Alright, we're live. That's for time synchronization. Although these days I don't seem to really need it. It seems my audio and my video don't seem to drift out anymore. Okay, welcome. So pop out the chat so that I don't get caught off guard. Alright, let's put this out of the way since I don't really need to type, so I can just yell at people instead. Alright, first up we've got a 1466. It's come in and it's spinning, drawing 250 milliamp, but nothing much else. Let's see if my data capture works here. Yep, that worked. And hello everybody. Did I get permission from Lewis to use his Lewis is getting himself a cease and desist. True New Yorker style. I might send someone from the Suits show to put Lewis in his place. Maybe I'll send Megan. I'm sure he'd be pleased to have Megan turn up and tell him that he can't do that. Alright, now I've already had a chance this afternoon to have a look at this. I took the heatsink off because I wanted to see if we're dealing with a PCH failure. So far there's no physical damage on the PCH that I can see, and I basically stopped there. I thought I'd wait till tonight, get a chance to sit down and do things properly. So we're just going to take the board out and see what's causing it. It could be another classic memory controller failure. We will check with the R811 situation, although we are getting a fan spin, so normally, you know, if you're getting no PM sleep S4L because of the memory controller failure, you won't get to the SO state, so you won't get a fan spin. Now, let's see how we go. Have you found a way to contact Fairphone? No, I have not. Hey Jason, welcome. Hope things are doing okay there for you, Jason. I'm not going to say much, but yeah, I hope things are under control now. Hey Defpump, nice of you to drop in with your busy schedule. You're always flat out testing things, fixing things. Okay, better get their drive out. We don't want to go and lose their data by accident. And we'll numerically encode it, 1608. Okay, that's safely put aside. Hey Jim. Hey laptop. Just noticed we've got our first hint here. Look, we've got a red, I don't know if you can see that, we've got a red dot on the flex, which means it could have some problem here over in the DC inboard. What it could be is if we had liquid damage in there, it could be that it's thinking that the lid is shut. Certainly a possibility. Alright, let's take it all out. Hello Liam McCorn. Let's see, Defcom. Next project is fixing your car. Heating air conditioner controller is acting up. You're going to fix it, or are you going to create one of your own and replace it? Because I know I would fall into that category. I'll be like, I can do better than the manufacturer. I'm going to make something that suits what I want to do. Of course, that's probably not a good thing you want to do if you ever want to resell the car. Hey, creature. Snowblower. Darren Henry, welcome. A smeller. Hey, Jim Allen. By the way, certainly got plenty of comments on that cat enclosure build. More comments than I usually get on a video, so that's good. Hey Hoofsmith. Pretty close to the start. We haven't even had the board out yet. Hey DeAndre, yes, it has been a while. Probably because I haven't been streaming much lately. In fact, pretty much since Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, I've been dead in the water simply because of the cat situation, dealing with this litter of kittens. I can see already that our HS105, our all-sys power good section has got corrosion on it. But that might not be the only damage. It's just a teeny smidge of green, but it fits the pattern, and you can see, maybe, yeah, you can see there's little watermarks in here. I'm going to take the DC inboard out as well. Hey Fue, B-Dog. This little flex here is always such a pain to get out cleanly. We'll have a look at this a bit better under the microscope, as well as the cross flex. See, I'm not sure if the microscope automatic swinger is going to be in. Yep, it's working, but the microscope's not. It's powered off. Power back on. MacBook polycarbonate I bought has a shorted CPU rail. What should I do to locate the issue? Let's see. Shorted CPU rail. Is it really short or is it just low ohms? And what model MacBook is it? Because anything sort of like above 2 ohms, depending on the model, is entirely normal. I can't really see any corrosion damage, so I'd say it's just a false alarm on that one. Hey Daniel. That looks pretty clean too. We will check just behind the audio jack because there is a leak hole there. And no, it looks okay. A bit of weird coloured junk there. Put that back. Alright, so the DC inboard looks okay. A1342. Oh, geez, you know, I don't think I've ever dealt with those. Alright, so as you can see, it's not the... oh man, that's an ugly job. Alright, this has been corroding away for quite some time. You can see that the board has actually delaminating here, this whole area. It's genuinely lifting off the board. Usually we're more commonly seeing damage around this, which gives us a all-sys power good. But this is part of the process as well, and with this damage like that, yeah, there's going to be a bit of trace rebuilding, I would say. I'm going to check and see if there's anything else on the board that needs attention before I focus on that one. So this is a 1.88, so it's a pretty decent board. It's 2017 probably. The 2017 releases of the MacBook Air 1466s, it is a good machine. Still perfectly perfectly good for everyday use currently. A little bit of fluff and junk, but nothing bad. A few cockroach legs, nothing unusual. SMC so far looks like it missed out on the party, thank goodness. Another cockroach leg there, this tiny little thing. 35 ohms is a perfectly good value. I wouldn't be worried about that. That's not a short. So the fact that we've got all these little legs hanging around here leads me to think that the damage caused up here probably was a bug. But then again, who knows? Maybe it was something that splattered in. Oh look, glitter. This is why glitter sucks, folks. It gets everywhere. That's a piece of glitter. And what is that? That's 0.5 millimeter diameter. And that stuff just gets everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. It's probably in the fish that you eat. Hey Pedro. Hey One Way. Yeah, good luck with the bench reorganization there, Daniel. That's always hellish. You get like 3/4 of the way through and then you got to do a job and you got to restart all over again. Alright, let's see if we can get this cleaned up. Make a working machine out of this. 470. Yeah, B-Dog, with the YouTube chat, if you want to put a emoji at the end, you've got to put a space after the emoji. Otherwise, it only ever shows the emoji. It's very annoying. I thought they'd fix it by now, but clearly they haven't. Alright, my flux is getting a bit old and nasty looking. Probably time for a new tube or 10. Hey Anthony. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I knocked out the damned spiral air bullshit. So now I have to readjust all my air speeds for this particular nozzle. So now I don't have one of those. It won't whistle anymore, thank goodness. I really did not like it whistling. Yeah, that's some pretty ugly damage down there. Just cranking up the light a little bit so you can see. It's a little bright for me, but hey, you know, the things you got to do for people. Yeah, look at that. Look how bad that is. We're lucky if we keep this trace. Oh, it's still there. Amazing. No, it's not. Now you may be thinking, why the hell did I scratch it away? Well, the reality is that it basically wasn't a good trace anyway. So we'll just have to run a wire into it. Okay, looks like we've got a veer getting exposed here. That will probably have to be reconnected. Yep, some more damage here. This is why you really got to be moderately aggressive, knocking off all the corrosion. Because otherwise you'll fix it up for 1 or 2 traces and then you won't see the other ones until it comes back under warranty. Yeah, look, see? It's just flaking off. This is particularly bad. I mean, certainly it could be a lot worse, but it's also not great. Oh, where have I stuck these things? Ah, there you are. I think it might be a smart thing for me to take off the 4 closest parts, like that resistor, that cap, and those 2 resistors. I just got a feeling that they may not be truly holding down. Yeah, they could be just simply floating on there. Hey there, Brett, VK4BDE. Let's see, we've got a ham radio enthusiast. Oh, g'day, Harold. Asked you to drop in. I got to get round to putting in that order for you, Harold. Just been a little bit chaotic with everything going on. These are the first repairs I've actually done for this year. Take care, Jason. Yeah, see, I don't trust the interface between that pad and the trace. I have a feeling that it's going to be borderline. I mean, it's might be there, but I wouldn't trust it long term. And obviously we're going to have to rebuild this one. But actually, other than that, it's pretty good. Hey Anthony, G7. Choices. Let's see, let's get ourselves some wire and start the rebuilds. That's weird. Can't see my LITS wire anywhere. It's not going to be a happy day if I can't find my LITS wire. I mean, I do have alternatives to it, but I really do just prefer to use that wire if I can. It's a nice wire. Ah, found it. It was in a wire container, but it's a different wire container. Thank goodness for that. Hey, microtrits. Creature, I would say that it would probably buzz fine, but the trouble is I just feel like it probably doesn't show up in the microscope, but the trace is recessed, so I don't trust it. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. I just don't trust it. You're probably wondering what I'm going to do here, but you'll understand in a few seconds. Okay. So get my tweezers. I gotta say, those are probably the straightest trace repairs I have ever done in my life. Hey there, 3X. Now, hopefully I can find my UV, there it is, and hopefully it works. Yep. Shield your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, there's UV on the road. You can also tell that the flux I use has a UV indicator in it. Or maybe you can't. Hey VFR Phil. Yeah, VFA Phil, it was very much just a bit of luck there. It just happened to line up perfectly. Not something that normally happens. Hey there, Farphone. The Hoofsmith, if you want UV, you just have to go outside on a sunny day and look at the screen through the sun. Oh, Jim, yeah, I thought I'd try and at least give people half an hour to catch up before, because a lot of people were complaining that YouTube simply wasn't informing them. And here we are back to full brightness, as it were. Well, I've just toned it down a little bit. Do you see U1950? Yes, you do. Hello there, Murata. How's things going with the SMC tool there? Any interesting developments, or are we still pretty much as was? Harold, over here where I am, there's just way too much UV every day. Like, I can barely go outside for 10 minutes before I start to burn. Like, I tried to do some mowing this afternoon, and I was out, I was probably 5 minutes and I could start to feel the burn. And that was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Because I am a bit of a pasty white thing. Yep, get sunburnt in about 10 minutes, that's about it. So we better get another one of these chips. I'm kind of worried about what that veer is. I have a feeling it's probably ground. I like being pale. Pale is more my thing. Yeah, that's ground. I suppose I should verify that the floodplain was also ground. Yeah, it is, yeah. We can further verify that later, just simply by looking at where the floodplain goes, which is to say this pin here, and then we can check with that. Actually, we'll do that now. Hey there, Jan Zimmy. So that would be this pin here, which is indeed ground. So, all good. Yeah, and it also means you're in for more surgeries as you get the skin cancer cut out of your body. And I've seen my parents go through that, and I've seen plenty of other people go through it. And whilst I do not personally have a massive aversion to minor surgeries, I still prefer to avoid it if I can. Why bother have to go for it if you don't have to? Oh yeah, I remember now you messaged me about that renaming issue. Shame about that, but at least now that there's enough people pointing to the Git page, it should carry through alright for you. Yeah, Jim, it's all too easy to happen. The worst thing is it's usually such a small thing when it starts, and then by the time you actually think to do something about it, it's already quite often too late. Shite. Oh, for flip's sake, mate. Needs a bit of flux, I think. That's like a little bit too much. I hope that orientation is correct. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll go check on another board. Yeah, the chip was being a bit feisty. V08. Wait, what? It says pin 1 up top right, which is correct. It's kind of weird the way that they've got the pin 1 marker down here rather than up here. There's another mark up there. Okay, all good. It makes me happier. Thank you, Andrew, by the way, just saw that. Alright, so we need to grab these two resistors and that cap and that resistor. I know. I'm being silly here. Doing the whole two at once thing. At least it's better than when I tried to do 3 or 4. See, and then that happens and I spend more time separating them. The worst thing is I burn my... there we go. Burn my fingers trying to get it all sorted out. Do you still get Telstra Android phones for repair or data salvage? I do occasionally, but mostly these days I just hand them off. Particularly for repair. It's just... I think the last one that I dealt with was the ZTE T84s, I think it was. I think if I was geared up more for that sort of thing on a daily basis, it wouldn't be so bad. But at the moment, it's just a huge waste of time for me and the customer. Okay, we need that cap. I'm still trying to get used to the new hot air. I can sort of see one area where the swirling is nicer, in that at the higher airflow rates you don't blow your flux away. But I think it's a false economy really, because you're also not heating up what you're focusing on quite as much. That cap end doesn't feel good. Hey there, Mr. Stamps. I got your email, Mr. Stamps. Let's see if we can clean this end cap up. Oh, not with a dodgy tip, we're not. Hey, that damn thing just whistled. No, I really don't like that cap. It's probably not bad, but I really don't want it behaving that way. Basically what's happening is the solder is not cleanly flowing up onto it. It's more just sort of doing a head in pillow effect. Okay, did I take it from this one or the other board? The other, that one. And very much likely it would have been inconsequential. It's probably just a generalized decoupling cap. It's not a specialist timing cap or anything like that, I'm guessing. And so having it not quite soldered perfectly probably wouldn't have mattered one bit. But this is the one opportunity you get to try and do it right. So, you know, I try to do it right. Is it better than the quick? Yeah, I kind of prefer the quick in many ways, but in terms of the firmware of the controller, I prefer the Atom. Yeah, I'm still not 100% sold on the whole button on the handle thing. It works, and you know, I do it subconsciously now, but I can't say I'm 100% sold on it still. Just like I'm not 100% sold on the way this is sitting. Now I am. Project today is fighting with the HDMI tester. It works on PC, but my Mac Mini is not pressed. So what, the tester is doing something to the signal, and the Mac is like, nope, not going to touch it. I had that with my USB-C meters at one point. Something was upsetting the CC1, CC2 lines. Yeah, Paul, that's great. Just short out that. Oh my goodness. You tried to clean it up and you made it worse. Hey, branches. I think the biggest thing about the quick that irritates the hell out of me is that you have to, or at least with the one I had, you had to remove it from the holster in order to change the parameters. You know, your airspeed and things like that. It was very annoying. Alright, I think they're good. I'm not worried about that exposed veer there, because it just looks like a generalized grounding veer. It's sort of what you do with these flood fills. You just when you flood fill for ground, you also put through a whole bunch of veers so as to try and minimize any sort of capacitive build up between the layers. Alright, let's see if this does better than 250 milliamps now. Hey, Dumres. Now we can get away with not having the heatsink on this for a sufficiently short time. So here we go. So we're looking for, we will get the 5 volt power, but we're looking for the green USB blink. Oh, maybe we won't get anything. Seriously? We made it worse? That's awesome. Oh no, there we go. 4, 5, 600, okay, this thing's running again. But let's verify it by waiting for the green blink. And hopefully the PCH doesn't go psh, because they do occasionally do that. You fix them up for one fault, and then all of a sudden things come back into power and the PCH decides to pull the eject handle. There we go, we've got a blinking green, which means the CPU is alive. So we're going to put the heatsink back on. We're not going to bother putting any more paste on there or anything like that. We're just going to slap it on, and then we're going to throw it into the chassis, and we're going to see if we get a boot. Someone needs their glasses on. Hey, Pro Engineer, good evening. Let's see, warrant stamps the kittens. Yeah, we'll be happy and sad to see them sent off to a new location. We have 9 of them at the moment, and it's a substantial load and interruption to our normal daily routine because we aren't yet properly set up for the situation. We probably have to spend about, I'm guessing we're going to have to spend $30,000 to $40,000 for us to have half the property color bonded. Color bond is what we call metal fencing that's about 1.8 meters high, 6 foot. And then we need a insulated, weather controlled, environmental controlled, air conditioning and heating, 6x4, that's 6 meters by 4 meters shed, as well as an awning out from that. The awning only needs to be about 2 or 3 meters. But yeah, so easily 50 grand at the way things are going these days. And then when we have that, it will make life a lot easier for us. Of course, got to get the 50 grand first. But we're working towards it. But we need to do something because this is a situation that crops up all too frequently around here. And while we do have an animal control ranger person, the resources that they have are limited, and as a consequence, if things get pushed too far with them, then the animals, not so much with dogs, but certainly it seems with cats, they will just put them down under, if they need the room or there's too much pressure, then that's what happens. They try not to. They do their best to try and rehome them, but they just don't quite have enough resources for this town. So that's where we come in. We want to be able to step in and basically provide a second chance for the animals, and we'll just work with the council. We will not have it that people will just be able to drop animals off to us. That's not how it's going to be, because if you let that happen, then you are going to get inundated with every Tom, Dick and Harry who's just decided, you know what, I don't want my cat more or whatever, and just dump it at your doorstep. That's the last thing you want happening. But yeah, so we have to make the investment to set up the property a little better, and then that will make our lives easier, which means I can get back to doing my work more. But yeah, it's a pretty big task. Our cats are sterilized, or desexed as we say, And what we try to do, or what our original plans around here was, is to find any strays or whatever that are wandering around, and there's plenty of those. Befriend them, get them used to humans again, because most of the strays are abandoned cats as opposed to wild cats like ferals. See, if you have a wild cat that's grown up purely in the wild with no domestication, then we call that a feral, as opposed to a stray, which is an abandoned or lost domestic cat. Anyway, so yeah, we try to get those strays, get them desexed, even if they sort of like don't get to come into our property or our resort, as it were. Then at least if they're out there, they're not causing more litters to happen. Hey, branches, that's pretty cool. What you have to send me a photo of those. Always nice to see people doing what they can. But it sucks because you go out of your way to do the best you can, and then the people who are being careless, they go along and say, well, there's always going to be someone who will look after it. And it's like, no, it's not how you shouldn't be depending on that. We do it simply because we honestly, emotionally, we can't do otherwise. But yeah, when people like that just sort of go, they can't be fine. It's like, hell no. Oh, I've got a cough. Sorry, tickle in the throat. Pro engineer, we're looking to probably, I think realistically we could probably hold about 10 in the resort area that we're planning. Which isn't a lot, but if we can help the council out so they don't have to take that final option, then we're happy to help. That's right, Arella. Yeah, that's what we've been doing, and it did have a really good effect. It meant while we did have them around, we weren't getting population explosions. But someone a couple of streets up has been, they just didn't desex the cats, and now we've got this population explosion. And it's very hard to get the population explosions back under control. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here for some reason. Defon, thank you for the New Zealand 16.99. Really? Thank you very much. No, that's great. That's about on par with what Australian dollars are worth now too. Alright, let's see if this thing will even boot and charge. We're not going to put the drive in yet because we want to make sure that we're not destroying anything. Yeah, Pro, we have we have a few more than that. I think in total we are now looking after around about, it's got to be close to 30. But hopefully once we find new homes for these kittens, then we should be back down to a more reasonable number. Yeah, my bee blood with my head banging thing. That was scary. That was really scary. Thank you, Pro. And by the way, yes, this money does go straight into the kittens. I mean, that enclosure that I built, that was probably only about, it'll work out about $1,000 worth of materials by the time I'm finished, because I've still got to put shelving and insulation and a few other things in there. So yeah, overall, definitely money just gets poured into it, and we choose to do that. We want to do that. That's I wouldn't call it a hobby, but we consider it our calling. Hard hat for Paul's head. I can't really get government help. No, it really isn't a. We're lucky that we even have a ranger in this town. Most of the support you get around here is through people like ourselves or other charity organisations focused on rehabilitating animals. There was a Royal Society for Animals in Townsville, but they closed up a couple of years ago. and that was an unfortunate loss. I do not want to think about how difficult that must have been. Needless to say, on a less nice topic, the machine's running again. And we've got good temperatures, good fan speed. Bunnings sponsored, now that'd be good, yeah. 1.8, 8 gig. Yep, this thing's good. Just check the keyboard, make sure the keyboard's running right. And we are charging, we've got 3 amps posted there. Okay, let's see, Mr. Keyboard, have you got any liquid damage in you? Okay, let's see, escape, caps, keyboard's all good, thank goodness for that. I mean, it's not the worst if the keyboard is damaged. I mean, you can replace these ones, but it's a nuisance. Most of the time these days I just keep a few spare top chassis and swap them out rather than doing an actual keyboard replacement. Let's see, is my trackpad good? Yep. Sound. Okay, that's all working. Brightness. Yep, that's good. Yep, I think this can go back. Nicely fixed up now. Thank goodness for that. It's a good way to start the year. I will now put the solid state drive back in and see if it boots with that. B-Blood Bunnings is our really big hardware chain store. It's kind of like an institution now. And everybody else are just wannabes. Disconnect the battery. Just pop this up. We haven't routed the camera properly. Oops. This board will have to go and get cleaned. I mean, I could have just sort of scrubbed off that little bit of area, but I feel like I want to clean the whole board. And the 1466s, they tolerate being ultrasonic pretty well. Pro Engineer, yeah, that whole under-over onions situation, I can't believe that happened. I wonder how the guy that actually invoked that feels about it nowadays. Wonder if he ever sort of sits back and thinks, maybe I should have just not created that situation. Yeah, there is always that one guy, that one person. Alright, it's booted into... Yep, it's all good. Defcom, you just have to go to Bunnings, mate. What I'm waiting for is when they have a 24-hour Bunnings. That's what we need. We need 24-hour Bunnings. For when the urge strikes at 3 o'clock in the morning and you need to go down and get yourself a solid piece of 90 by 45 timber, go down to Bunnings, and while you're there you get yourself a nice hot sausage on bread. Perfect way to spend your nights. Okay, so that one is done. 1608, well, not done, but it's repaired. That's what matters. Oh, crikey. The body is feeling a little bit cranky today. Probably because I did a whole bunch of mowing. Actually, I've been doing mowing and building and all sorts of things over the last 2 weeks. At this time of the year, mowing... Oh, I just realised that's got to go with the... At this time of the year, mowing is something you have to do every single day. At least for our property. No days off. Okay, this might not be so nice. This is a liquid damage, 2338. I'm gonna have to take the bottom plate off screen. Sorry. Well, when people put stickers on the bottom of the machine that reveal too much, obviously I don't want to share that. Now, Creature, I'm actually thinking of getting a robotic mower. The trouble is, at the moment, a robotic mower would not last very well on this piece of land. What I really need before I get a robotic mower here is somebody to come and just level the land a bit. There's simply too many ditches that will capture one of those mowers. But yeah, I've seriously considered one because it would be a tremendous asset. And they're not that expensive. They're only about $6,000-7,000 for one that would easily handle the size of this property. Okay. This is probably going to be a dead end. But yeah, this is basically an M1. Someone's already wiped the liquid damage. Smells... You know what? I'm not really sure what that smell is. It's sort of sweet, but I don't know. Suspicious of it. Very suspicious of the smell. Get some sheep. Oh god, no. I don't want to make more problems for myself. I'll get myself a nice Husqvarna robotic mower and pay somebody to level the land a bit more for me, and that will be that. Sheep, on the other hand, ugh. I mean, no end of dramas with those things. Hey, Ed Boss. Oh, we don't have a problem with the grass growing around here. That's the big problem. The grass just won't stop growing, and it's thick, and it's tough. Thick, tough, fast growing grass. Ah, damn it. The stud on the backside, it has detached from the keyboard. It's annoying when that happens. So, friend had a Husqvarna one. Ditches kill him, yeah, that's what I was worried about. Property was in valley, kept getting stuck in the bottom, yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm sort of thinking I have to get the land sort of flattened out a little bit better before I invest in one of those things. But they're definitely on my to-buy list. Hey, Kurt War. Had 1,800 square. My landlord has to go out a lot and get... It's dumb. It's on a coastal sand dune. It's a patch of grass. Oh, yeah. That stuff's nasty, particularly if you're on a if you're using a push mower, because you sort of get your rhythm going, and then bam, straight into the sand pit, and just kills your arms, kills your momentum. Yeah, not fun. You need alpacas. The farm around here, I think, has a couple of those. Okay, so this is an M1 board, not an Intel one. Now, I haven't yet bothered to power it up, because if it has got liquid damage, I want to see what I'm dealing with before I subject it to some angry electrons. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Come on, you're going to come out? Yep, there you are. Yeah, so that's attached there. So we'll just grip onto that. Hopefully not slash our fingernails. Oof. Yeah, okay. Steve, that is also a possibility, or they will come back. I think the biggest problem is once you do grade your land, you really have to then make the effort to you really got to make the effort to get the grass growing, the right kind of grass growing, before the random grass comes along and takes over. Oh, well, that's the micro signal. Okay, we'll be with you in a second, micro. Let's see, I've just got to get this back on. This is a 3mm. Is it? Yeah, it's 3mm. That's the 4mm. Where's my 3mm? Here's my 3mm. At least I thought it was 3mm. Should be 3mm. Yep, you're 3mm. Might be a burr or something. I think... No, not so good. Okay. Yeah, not liking the look of this one because of the fact that it is in for liquid damage, but I have a feeling this might be a chassis fault, not a board fault. Like I said, I've got a few minutes before I got to deal with micro. If there is liquid damage on this, it's certainly not significant. I'd sooner say that the trackpad, keyboard, that sort of thing has been hit. Or maybe even the audio daughter board. Kind of not sure why it's here in that case. I would normally expect these people to check these things in another chassis before sending it to me. We had rabbits in the field. Some of the wild stray cats catch them. It sort of leaves you feeling a bit weird because you know that the rabbits are problematic, but at the same time, you know, you don't feel good about it either. And boy, do they scream! You know, when they get caught, it's scary. Let's see. Let's try this. What's going on? Nothing. Seriously? Not a nix. Interesting. I'll try a different one. It completely kills it. So there's a hard short on V-bus. Yeah. There's either a hard short on V-bus or... Wait a second. No, I know what's happened. Idiot. I changed my cabling style today and it just caught me out. It wasn't a hard short, it was no power. There we go. So we've got 20 volts. Yeah, it's negotiating 20 volts, so I'm going to assume that they have either a messed up Well, I don't know what. Trackpad can easily be messed up. This daughter board here can be messed up. It could even just be these. We'll just quickly pull these out. I am still remembering micro. Just trying to think, maybe I can... Yeah, there we go. This is bad DC and bad USB-C connectors. Yeah, have a look at this. Honestly, looks like a bad British set of teeth. Oh, completely knocked out. Bottom side's not so bad, but yeah. Just to quickly try this. Fitted it back in and see how it goes. As I said, I have about a half-hour window with micro. Sometimes if I feel like I'm almost finished on a job, I'll just proceed with the job. And then I can just close up. We may actually have that situation. Yeah, plug the battery back in. So connect some power. Shite. Kind of helps if you keep the connector on. Okay, there we go. You didn't stick on. This is my own fault. Okay, 20 volts. Back to 5 volts. 20 volts. 1 amp. Okay. Oh shit. It's doing a loop. Oh no, there we go. We're alive. Must have been just initializing or something. Yeah, it's coming up. Hey ZX, well, you know, you guys sent us to Australia, so you got to expect some blowback. And we're at 1%. Let's see, we're charging at 2 amps, so that's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to consider that one to be fixed. And with that, I'm going to finish this stream, go deal with micro, and then go play some 7 Days to Die while I eat some ice cream perhaps, or maybe just some yogurt. But anyway, that's all done, so thanks everybody for being here, and in future I will try and announce that I'm going to be having a stream a little bit earlier, like, you know, half hour, maybe an hour earlier. I think half hour is pretty good for most people, and hopefully we can maintain a little bit more consistency. So I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later.